you are capable of winning races. But you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
evening, everybody. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Network, the Digital Sim Sports Network, and live coverage of the Epic Racing Association AMP Grading and Excavation late model pavement stock car. Tonight, one of the shortest tracks on the circuit, Kern County Raceway. Under the lights. It's the first time I think that I have been to Kern County under the lights that I recall. Got about 10 or 12 drivers checked in right here tonight. Guys, you can start throwing your over-unders. I see Mr. Adam Vinny has already put himself in. Welcome, Adam. Missed you last night, buddy. I reached out to you. I sent you a message. The messenger did his job. You did not come to visit us, and I was sad. I thought you'd enjoy Knoxville. Hello, Jane. And Jane is on 4. See plenty of you logged in. Over under. Make your pick. The number of cautions you think they will have in this feature tonight. These guys are doing their pit party right now where they're practicing getting started and racing beside each other and all of those things. And then they'll do their qualifying. We'll go down for the redraw. And then we'll line up. Whoa, John Brunner. And then we'll line up for the big main event. Once that pace car rolls off in the main event, over-under selections will cease. I did see that. Bill's going to go with 9. I like it. I need to get over to our printer, our prize guy, and get the prizes picked. I know they're ready. I just have not been. Well, I was out of the country for a week. I was out of town for the week before that, and I just got back, and I'm still trying to play catch up. And it's it's interesting. So, a lot to do. So I'm going to try to get by there before the end of the week and get some things going. See if I can get a few more cups going. Third show this week. We'll have another one tomorrow night and 2 more on Thursday. Midwest Truck Series. Tomorrow night. They are at the Archived, Texas. The Legacy Texas Speedway. Banking at both ends. The old surface where it's a little slick and a little bumpy and should be an exciting race. A lot of fun. Make sure you guys tune in for that. That'll be about an 8:30 Eastern start. And then at about 9 Eastern on Thursday. Netcode Esports Mighty Midgets doubleheader. They're back in action. Guys are just practicing a little bit here, getting last couple of minutes, getting a pit party going here. All right. We'll keep an eye on the 11 truck tomorrow night. See what we can see. Just kind of watching different drivers here right now. I'm trying to stay focused on no one in particular. Oh, there it goes again. Turns 3 and 4, super slick tonight, it looks like, especially for the 46 car. Make sure you get your over-under picks in with me. The 3, the 4, the 7, and the 9 are already off the board. 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, 10, and anything above that. And we'll just have to write that in. It's Kern County. It should be a good one. I think 7 is going to be the number tonight. Just because I'm watching guys slip and slide all around. And I think if you're behind somebody that slips, you may not have time to react, and you might get into somebody, and that's going to pull us a couple of extra cautions. So Ooh, if you missed last night, shame on you, because you missed two amazing races on the dirt. The big block guys went to Knoxville, and that was a dogfight for the last 5 laps between the top two. Hello, Mindy. Welcome to the chat. And then the 410 sprint car race at Eldora was outstanding. They had a caution early. I want to say 5, 6, 7 laps in, and then they went the rest of the way. They got into lap traffic, and Ross Carrenta ended up taking the lead with about 5 or 6 or 7 to go, and he drove away from the rest of the field at the end of that thing, but it was still a great race. Top 3 or 4 all over each other, just like in the big block race. The top 3 or 4 in the big block race were all over each other for about the first 10 laps, and then it just kind of started getting separated, and the top 2 really rose to the top. They really showed that they were the 2 best cars in the field, and they battled each other right down to the end. All right, practice is over. That means it's time for qualifying. We won't get to watch all 10 cars, but we will. No one has taken 6. I'll put you in for 6, Paula. We will watch as many as we can. How about that? Everybody's on YouTube tonight. We know it was going through because we got people last night to go over to Facebook and shoot us, and I had already had people on Twitch and YouTube, so I know it's going everywhere. Just looks like everybody's watching on YouTube tonight. Running out of time for your over-under. These guys are going to qualify. We're going to drop down for the Lucky 7 redraw. And then they are going to grid out and get ready to go. Once the pace car rolls, takes the field in tow for the feature, no more over-unders. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 have been taken off the board. Jump in and tell us your number. If you think it's going to be 10 cautions, tell us it's going to be 10. You never know what you could win. Turnmeyer, 1842. Sorry, I was doing some writing right there, and I missed swapping to those guys. Cross the line for the second time. Dylan Connor, 1829, jumps to the top of the board. Let's go watch the 7 of Pete Dillon. On the clock for his first lap right here. Connor, Turnmeyer, Werdeman, Westendorf. Addison is 5th quick right now. John Brunner is in the redraw. We'll see if Pete Dillon can bump him out of there. Lap 1. Doesn't look like that's going to do it. Yeah, he did not collect a good time there. 19:19. He's quite a ways off. Almost a second. This second lap ought to be better. He was getting heat in the tires. I'm sure that's what he was trying to accomplish. This looks like a much better lap, probably in the mid-18s. And 18.44 is going to move him all the way to 3rd quick. It puts him in and puts Andrew Town, on the bubble with only one driver that hasn't taken time. That's Matt Eddy, and Matt Eddy has not. In the last couple of races, he has not tried to qualify that I remember. So we'll just have to watch and see. Keep our eyes on him. Over under, guys. You're running out of time. You're running out quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 have been taken. 1, 2, 8, 10, and above are still available. Get them in before the pace car rolls to take the field in tow for the main event. Prizes, prizes, prizes. You can join the list. I've got 2 ERA prizes to go and a Midwest Truck Series prize that needs to go. We did an over-under for Midwest Truck Series a few weeks ago. Just on a whim. then I got to do a whole bunch of boxing and get this stuff ready to go out.
All right, our BF Hammers Lucky 7 redraw ready to go. Shuffle it up 3 times, and we'll see how we're going to start tonight's main event. Uh-oh. Computer is very laggish tonight. All right, so the front row. So the front row will be Town, Werdeman. Row 2 to be Addison, Connor. Row 3, Westendorf, Dylan. And our BF Hammers Lucky 7 driver tonight. You heard him give his approval or disapproval of Turnmeyer. We'll get
he had an opinion on that.
And we'll have a quick drivers meeting, and we'll get ready to stage for tonight's main event.
Yeah, you heard Mr. Turnmeyer. He had an opinion about that 7 redraw right there. Yeah, that's what makes it fun. You never know where you're going to be starting if you qualify in that top 7, because that shuffle could put you first. It could put you third. It could put you anywhere in there. 7th, I mean, you could have been the fastest qualifier and still have to move to the 4th row, and that's always a danger zone right there in the middle of that top 10. Well, you win enough as it is, don't you? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to bring you down. I'm not trying to knock you. I'm just saying, when you win a lot of races, all the other side wins, nobody's going to care. That's human nature, I think. They're hating. That's what they're doing. They're hating. I would dig it if these guys went flag to flag. I don't think I have seen one of these in all the seasons that we've been doing it. I do not think I have seen one go flag to flag. And that would be great, especially at a place like this, because this place is tough. This is no walk in the park. You're not going to get out here and just creep around. Can't be done. Not if you're going to be successful anyway. We'll see what you do tomorrow night. That place is tricky, too. Texas is tricky, and the trucks are super tricky because they get that right rear hot real quick there, because you lean on it a lot getting around that place. And the old Texas is probably worse than the new Texas because the banking at both ends was pretty tall. So you really lean on that right side a lot. The bump coming out of turn 2 is really nasty as well, especially if you get in the middle of the track. All right, you are almost out of time for your picks for over-under. You get those in quick. We embrace the suck here. The number of cautions you think we'll have in tonight's main event. Shout it in the chat. I don't care where you are. If you're on Twitch, you're on Facebook, YouTube, all of them, shout it. If your number hits, you're going to win a prize. It might take us a few days to get it to you, or weeks, depending on how fast our printer does, but we'll get it to you nonetheless. All right, let's take a look at the grid. We know it is going to get weird up front. We know that Andrew Town is going to move from 7 to 1. Werdeman is going to move from 4 to 2. Addison is going to move from 6 to 3. Dylan Connor is going to go from the point to outside of row 2 in 4th place. Josh Westendorf is going to stay exactly where he is. Pete Dillon is going to move from 3rd to 6th starting spot. And good old Marvin Turnmeyer. You heard his snort of derision. He is going to move back to that 7th spot. He'll be inside of row number 4. And he'll have John Brunner in the 46 on the outside of him. And then JT McNulty and Matt Eddy will make up the rest of our field. Sorry about that. Had to be done. So, we're getting them squared away. Town and Werdeman, Addison and Connor. So you're going to have the 229 and the 81 in the front row. the 12 and the 91 in row 2, the 92 and the 7 in row 3, and the 1646 in row 4. And then you'll see the 30 and the 88. There's Matt Eddy. Did not take a qualifying time. I think he's going to go for hard charger every week. Four was taken. Gordon, pick me another number quick. We're out of turn 4 into the start zone. Green flag, and we're underway. 1, 2, 8, and 10 is what's in the top 10 right now. Pick another number, Gordon. Pick it quick. I don't know if you were in or not, but I saw it late. Oh, my. Caution right away.
Caution is out.
Right away, Andrew Town. Wow, we're going to watch this from a little droney cam right here. It's right after the start. Yep, just got there. Had a little bit of a run. Might have been a little early to force a 3 wide. Not my call. McNulty got a piece of that too, I believe, and he went in. So I was going to put McNulty in town. Headed to the infield real quick. A little quick for all that. But, hey, you never know. Gordon, I would say you better take somewhere like an 8 or a 10 is what I would say. There's 75 laps on the board. We still have a long ways to go tonight. Lights are still on the pace car. They're doubling up, I think, just because they can. Town and McNulty are still in the pits. Okay, the lights go off on the pace car. They're going to go back to green. I thought when the lights were still on getting into turn 2 that we were going to go another lap, but I guess they're going to shorten that. We're going to go back to green flag racing. Addison almost got there first. Out of 2. Connor's going to move to the inside. He is going to waste no time putting pressure on Werdeman. I don't think Werdeman will roll over for him. I think he'll try to fight him for a couple of laps just to try to see if he can make him heat his tires and wear them a little bit. Pete Dillon up to the 3rd spot. Turnmeyer is 4th. Addison falling quickly. He's already back to 5th. He's looking to be 6th as Matt Eddy now moved from 10th to 5th real quick like. That battle at the front still not over. Side by, oh, that time it might have ended it. Wow, the 81 car got sideways. Werdeman could read the numbers on the passenger side door from turn 3 when he came off turn 2. And he is going to fall from a battle for the lead all the way to 4th, right in between Turnmeyer and Eddy right there. Top 5 with a pretty healthy gap right now over John Brunner, who's at 6th, then Westendorf. And here's Addison. Addison must have had a moment coming out of turn 2 a couple of laps ago because he was about 5th or 6th, and now he's about to go a lap down. The top 5 are all over him already. So Dylan Connor doing Dylan Connor things. Out in front, he's going to open it up and give himself probably about a half a second, and then he's going to try to match the lap times. He just does not want anybody close. Pete Dillon's still hanging in second. He's not trying to push the issue. He's not trying to force anything. He's going to let Connor sit there and ride. He's going to try to save a little something. Marvin Turnmeyer, on the other hand, may want to force the issue. He'll dive to the inside in turns 3 and 4.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And we'll go back and watch the drone cam again here out of the corner, and you're going to see they're just going to come together. So watch that from Pete Dillon's perspective. Just a bit of contact. And Turnmeyer with the rollover. Landed on his wheels, drove it away. I think he's still going to have to go to the pits. Looks like the left front suspension pretty heavily damaged. That car is tipping all the way down on the left front. So caution number 2. No winner there. Connor Ordeman, Eddie up to third with Pete Dillon and Marvin Turnmeyer getting into one another. Then Brunner is fourth, Westendorf fifth, Turnmeyer and Dillon in the pits. Addison a lap down, and I don't know, maybe he'll get his wave around, maybe he won't. I can't tell you. I cannot see. I don't see a lot of damage on that 7 car, but he is in the pits. And there goes Addison. He'll get his wave around. He'll get back on the lead lap here. Marvin Turnmeyer has rolled off a pit road. He rejoined the field. We'll see if that car is up to snuff, as Pete Dillon has made his way back onto the racetrack as well. Line them up with 1 to go. And Pete Dillon's going to catch up to the back of the field probably right about the time they get down to turn 3 here. So we'll get our restart beginning lap 11. Yeah, get us a hot dog and a beer, man. That'd be fantastic. Hey, last night I got a fruit smoothie delivered to the booth just randomly, so that was amazing. I'll take whatever anybody wants to bring to the booth. Well, within reason. Restart on lap 11. Dillon Connor going to the front. Here comes Matt Eddy. Matt Eddy started 10th. And now taking second away from Werdeman. I think Matt Eddy may go put a little pressure on the 91. May just go test the waters. Don't let him get comfortable out there. Make him have to go run, work hard. Maybe he can force a mistake. Maybe he can force him to slide his car another. Yeah, slide his car another few times and get those tires hot. And that might be what somebody needs to get the 91 off the top of the podium. I don't know. No racing last week, so they had a good week off. I don't know 14 beers. I did have about 6 or 7 when we were on the beach at Cozumel last Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. And that was nice. Connor, Eddy, Ordeman, the top 3. Addison got his lap back, and now he's up to 4th position. I don't know what happened to him after that incident on the start. but he fell like a rock and he got lapped really quickly. Just got his lap back on the last caution. Now he's already inside the top 4, and his lap times are pretty good. He is just about a 10th off the leader. Westendorf and Dillon, and Westendorf with a big slide out of turn 2, opens the door right up, and Pete Dillon slides right through there, puts himself in the top 5. Marvin Turnmeyer, who was involved in that incident with Pete Dillon, still got damage on the left front of that car, but hanging in there in the 7th spot. And then John Brunner is 8th. McNulty has made it back on track. Multiple laps down, 14 laps down, but back in the race and running back here at the back of the field. Dylan Connors opened it up to about 0.7 of a second. Well, you missed out, Jordan, so sorry about that, buddy. There comes Andrew Town back onto the racetrack. He'll be about 17 or so, maybe 18 laps down by the time he gets up to speed. Well, what we did was all inclusive, so I don't have to worry about the carry-on deal, bro. That's the most I've drank in one stretch in a long time. Probably since the last time we were actually in Cozumel. No, time before that. Last time we were only there for about 3 hours. I went back to the boat early. Mr. Eddie. Mr. Eddie. Pacing himself. He's about 0.8 off. Lap times are within 100th of a second of the leader. I think he just backed off. He didn't want to be too close to have a dirty air and maybe get them right side tires too hot too early. But we're almost a third of the way through now. Now. And the lap times matching pretty well. Top 3 pretty consistent, pretty tight with one another. Pete Dillon may be the fastest car on the track at the moment. He's about 1/10 of a second quicker than everyone in front of him. And he is definitely reeling these guys in. Steve Addison, after the incident on the first lap, went a lap down within about 4 or 5 more laps, and now got a wave around, and he's in the top 5. He is, last time by, he was the exact same speed as your leader. Marvin Turnmeyer, damage on the left front of that car from that incident earlier with Pete Dillon. But up to 6th, Westendorf and Brunner, only cars on the lead lap. And then McNulty, he's 14 laps down, and then 18 laps down to Andrew Town. Andrew Town was the car that got turned on lap 1 by Addison coming out of turn number 2, right after we took the green. And he spent 18 laps on pit road getting that thing where it would go and race. So right along with Mr. Eddie on his helmet cam. Steady and smooth. Trying not to work the wheel too much. Trying not to work the throttle too heavily. Keep the right side tires from getting super angry at you. And he's reeling in your leader. He was a 0.5 and a 0.5 the last 2 laps quicker. This time by, he is a little over 0.1 of a second quicker. And that could be Connor trying to let him reel him back in so that he can gauge the speed. But I'll tell you, the guy that is moving forward and doing it pretty well, he's about the only car making tracks to the front. It's the 7 of Pete Dillon. He has now caught Jeff Werdeman. He is just playing a little peekaboo in the mirror. He'll go to the outside, go to the inside. He doesn't get lined up directly behind him for sure. And 5 laps will be halfway. Let's go see how Mr. Addison is doing. His lap times, mirror image of the top 3. They are between 72 and 79, and he is right in that group with him. So is Werdeman. Marvin Turnmeyer, 1906 lap time by, so his last time by, so his lap time's a little bit slow. And it's got to do something with that damage. He's got the left front fender, the right front fender kind of caved in a little bit, and I'm sure that's keeping downforce off the nose. And he's probably driving that car off the rear end a lot. It's going to make it angry. It's going to make it a handful for sure. Mid 7s and 8 zeros for your top 5 right now. Top 4. Steve Addison was at an 85 last time by. If you let the 91 get to the front, he is going to probably dictate the pace of the race. You're going to have to outsmart him. Matt Eddy up from 10th to 2nd, and he has held that since the last restart. We just crossed past halfway. I tell you, Jeff Werdeman and Pete Dillon back to the bumper of the 88. The top 4 are starting to come back together. They got spread out a little bit. There was 0.7 of a second between first and second, second and third. And once Pete Dillon got to Jeff Werdeman, the pace picked up those 3rd and 4th place cars. And now they're reeling in 2nd place. And Matt Eddy must see that in the mirror, and he is trying to reel in the leader. Maybe he thinks if he can get up there and get all 4 of them racing each other, it'll make the concentration for the driver of the 91 a little bit more difficult, and he can sneak by. Pete Dillon sneaks by Jeff Werdeman right there. So move Dillon back up to 3rd. I think that's about where he was when he and Marvin Turnmeyer got together. Marvin Turnmeyer taking the 16 car to pit road. We'll see if he comes back out. Crew guys don't look like they're too excited to go do a whole lot. They're down there telling stories. Yeah, right side of the car's going up, so it looks like he's going to get fresh tires. He'll be a couple of laps down. Pete Dillon around Matt Eddy. Here comes Jeff Werdeman trying to take 3rd away from Eddy. Pete Dillon already took 2nd away. Pete Dillon. Incident on about lap 8. Went to pit road and then came back out, and now he's got that car running as fast or faster than your leader every lap. That time mirror image 18.68. Dylan Connor must see that Pete Dillon is coming, and he has picked up the pace significantly. He was running 18.8s before Dillon got to 2nd. And the last 2 laps have been mid to high 6s. Everybody in the top 6 is under 19 seconds. Westendorf is on pit road with Turnmeyer. Turnmeyer is still there. Westendorf came in right behind him, and he is still sitting there, so he's multiple laps down as well. We are quickly creeping in on a 25 to go situation. Dylan Connor out in front, has been there since, I don't know, about lap 4. Maybe 6. And has not relinquished that lead. In fact, has not been challenged. Pete Dillon is trying to flip that script. Now the top 2 equaling out a little bit in time. Connor just a couple of hundredths quicker now. The interval about 0.95 seconds. It was down to about, 6/10 a little bit ago when they were mixing it up for second, third, and fourth. They just keep trading it back and forth. 2 or 3 hundredths here, 2 or 3 hundredths there, and the gap is not closing. I did get you down, Gordon. I got you on 8. Little slip out of turn 2 that time for the 91 car. Just the tiniest slide, and it cost him about half a tenth. Matt Eddy still hanging on to third. He is just a couple of car lengths out in front of Jeff Werdeman. They have got a gigantic, a full straightaway gap back to Addison in the 5th spot. We are under 20 to go this time by. Very slowly that gap closed down to just under 0.8. Gonna have to be just a tick quicker than that guy in front. Like a little more than half a tenth if you're gonna try to catch him before the end of this thing. Really probably need to be about 1/10 of a second a lap quicker and then get there, because you're going to have to figure out where you can put the weak spot. Maybe the lap traffic will do it, because we're about to creep up on the back of the 46 of John Brunner. And he's got Andrew Town right in front of him. Town multiple laps, 18 laps down as a matter of fact. And the leaders are working in on this right now. And Connor going to open the gap up just a little bit. He wants plenty of time to work the lap cars. Tana go to the high side and give Connor the entire racetrack. So easy pass, and the gap opens up a little bit more. Connor's shrinking the time again. He's down to the 6.2, 6.3 range on his lap times. Now to the bumper of the 6th place car of Brunner. Made easy work of that. "13 laps to go this time by." Not trying to jinx them, but it's been about 60 laps since we had a caution. We may get to the end of this one on 2. Which isn't flag to flag, but not terrible either. 1.1 seconds. Dylan Connor to Pete Dillon. And then it is another 1.1-ish seconds to Matt Eddy in third. And Eddy has finally dispatched Werdeman, and he's opened that up to about 0.9 of a second. Addison is still fifth, and he is quite a ways back from the leader, about 10 seconds. John Brunner is the first car 1 lap down. The only car 1 lap down. And a lap put on McNulty right there. Another lap put on McNulty. Pete Dillon's working around the 30 of McNulty. We're inside 7 to go. Only 5 cars on the lead lap. We are not going to get to that 5th place car. He's got about 6 seconds on the leader right now. Wave a lap that time. It's 5 to go. Laps tick off quick when you run them at 18:57. His best lap in the whole race is an 18:45. And with 5 to go, he's running 18:57. That's just about a 10th off. And he does this every time. He ran a 57 again. He's a model of consistency. Running the same lap time, lap after lap after lap. And he got quicker in the last 4 or 5 laps than the 10 prior to that. When you're solid, bad things have to happen for you to get beat. 2 to go that time. Dylan Connor, Pete Dillon, Matt Eddy, the top 3. Then Werdeman and Addison, only cars remaining on the lead lap. They're 4th and 5th. Brunner, McNulty, Town, Westendorf, and Turnmeyer. Westendorf making laps. He's 26 laps down, but we're white flag. Next flag ends it. Doesn't matter what color it is. It's probably going to be checkers. And Dylan Connor headed to victory lane once again. Pete Dillon's going to come in second. Matt Eddy from the back to third. Werdeman in 4th. And McNulty will come home on the lead lap. Or I'm sorry, that's Addison. Will come home on the lead lap in 5th. Brunner 6th, McNulty 7th, Town 8th, Westendorf 9th, and Turnmeyer rounded out the field. Early exit for him. He had tough luck tonight for sure. Let's see. Is it going to be that guy right there? It surely is. So the waiting, they're in there. Let's get to talking to him. Steve Addison, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, weird thing right at the very start, and I want to address that first. What happened there with you and the 229 car right off the start of the race?
Yeah, so I felt like I got a good run going down into one and was able to get up underneath the 229. And I believe Jeff was on the outside of him. And I don't know if the 229 came down in front of me. I hated it for Andrew and anybody else that was involved in that.
Well, it wasn't too long after that, and it looked like something was wrong with the car. You slid way back. You went a lap down. It was right after the next restart. What happened on that little run there?
Yeah, I think I was just dealing with some nose damage on the car from that first lap incident. The car wasn't really comfortable on the outside lane.
And then you get your wave around, and after that, a good little run up through the field, and then you kind of got up there 4th, 5th, 6th, and it kind of stayed right there. Looked like the car kind of equaled out with everybody else.
Absolutely. This is a tough track. It was hard on tires, at least for me and my car tonight. And I think there at the end, I just burnt the tires off of it.
Well, still a good run. It's a top 5, man. Quick shout-outs and thank yous. We'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, thanks to Marv and Jeff for putting this on. Thanks for you and your team for broadcasting the race. And thanks for my wife for allowing me to do this every Tuesday.
All right, man. Congrats on the run. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks, Roger.
Steve Addison, the random driver of the night. Now, he started 10th. I think he was going to be going for those hard charger bonuses. He drove it up there to the 2nd spot for a while. Matt Eddy, it looked like it was pretty easy getting there, and then it just kind of stopped.
Yeah, I only had a few laps of practice. Had to go do the bedtime thing again tonight. So it started at the back, and I think my longest run in practice was like 6 laps. So I was being careful not to burn my stuff up. Probably should have pushed a little harder in the middle and got a little bit more out of it.
Yeah, it looked like you got up there, and I thought, man, he's going to go up there. He's going to force Connor to go run hard for a little bit and, see if he can force a mistake, maybe get around him, and he can control the race of the pace of the race. And it just kind of looked like your car just said, yeah, you know what? That's enough. We're good right here.
Yeah, I got up there, and I worried if I start trying to push him too hard, all I was going to do is burn up my right front because I didn't have enough time in the car to know how hard I could push, and then you'd just drive away after that.
Well, still a great run from the back to 3rd, man. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you get out of here tonight.
Marv and Jeff and everybody that helps put these things on, puts the time into it, yourself included. Wife for giving me the time to do this at least once a week, and everyone at work there at Howe Racing.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a run. I'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Matt Eddy finishing in 3rd. Let's move on to the driver that finishes in 2nd this evening. Pete Dillon, you had an incident, and I don't know if maybe you had a little bit of red eyes going there, but, man, you charged through the field and made it all the way up to 2nd. It's just really hard when that guy's got over a second on you to get up there and get right into the fight, isn't it?
No, I didn't have no red eyes. I just, I run pretty good here. Marv got into me. It wasn't no big deal. It happens. But yeah, I knew I had to get through the field as fast as I could. I knew I could keep pace. Well, I hoped I could keep pace with Dillon. But once I got to him, he turned the heat up and just pulled away. So
Yeah,
I'll settle for P2. Maybe I need to change my car number to 2.
It looked like you got up there and then he kind of stretched out. Then he came back and then once again, I think he saw traffic coming. He was afraid if you were too close and one mistake that you were going to put the pressure on, and he started to stretch it away again.
Yeah, I seen the traffic up there. I was hoping they'd get racing side by side and hold him up a little bit to where I could get to him. But that didn't happen, so we'll just settle for another P2.
Well, you keep chasing the 91 car each and every week, man, and you're still coming home on the podium. So building momentum, let's just call it that. Give me some shout-outs and thank yous before I let you go tonight.
I want to thank everybody that sponsored the league, you for broadcasting, Marvin, Jeff for putting this thing on, all the guys that show up to race every week, and all the fans sitting at home watching. Hope they had a good show.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with me, and I'll see you next Tuesday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Pete Dillon finishing second here tonight. And everybody seems to finish behind the 91 car. He did it again. He was quickest in qualifying. He started fourth after the redraw. Took no time at all getting himself to the front. And really, you didn't have any challenges tonight, Dylan. I think you're out there just playing with your food.
Man, like I said, it's just been a great run. I can't never say just play on my food because these guys are ready to attack every week. The race just played out great. Was able to get out there and really ride how I wanted to, and then when I got down to the end right there, I was able to run some high 50s. Is kind of what I was aiming for, so I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it looked like once you saw that lap traffic, you turned the wick up just a little bit, and after you got by him, you just decided to leave it turned all the way up.
Yeah, I knew Pete had some trouble at the beginning. I didn't know for sure if he took tires or not. But I know he charged, back through the field and made it to second. So I knew it was at that point of the race I was going to have to go ahead and go because he was charging, and was able to hold him off.
Well, at some point, somebody's going to have to do something, get up there and put a real challenge on you. Give me your shout-outs, your thank yous, buddy. Excuse me.
It's going to happen.
Sorry.
It's going to happen at some point, I believe.
Yeah, I swallowed a bug there. I don't know. I'm sorry, bud.
No, you're fine.
Anyway, give me your shouts and your thank yous before I let you get out of here tonight, man.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for being up in the booth for us as always, giving us a great show to go back and watch. And I thank Marv and Jeff for everything they're doing for the league. I want to thank my sponsors, AMP Graydon, Purrier Race Parts, and Chris and Alan Purrier with Calder Banker Elite. While I'm thinking about it, I want to thank the league sponsors, AMP Graydon, Gunslinger Whiskey. I want to thank my family and friends and fiance for all the support, and my dad for spotting for me.
All right, man. Congrats on another great win. Sorry about the big choke there in the middle, but we'll look forward to seeing you back here next week, see if you can go again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Dylan Connor, folks. He wins. I think that's win about 100. I don't know. He's won a lot of races here. I want to say it's probably getting close to 40. A lot. It's just a lot. He's just good. It doesn't matter where he starts. He's going to work his way, and he's going to get there. And once he does, then he kind of is tough to get around and get a win from. So another win for the 91 car. Another great night of racing. A lot of fun. I'm glad you guys were here for it. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, Midwest Truck Series. That'll be about an 8:15-ish start time for us. Make sure you come in the chat and say hi. Thanks for being here. Without you, there's no reason for us to do it. Without all the great leagues giving us awesome racing that we saw here tonight, there's nothing for us to cover. So a high five and a pat on the back all the way around on that deal. Till we see y'all again. Peace and love to everyone.